All right, guys, we're checking in. I'm gonna get this thing up on Instagram Live simultaneous, so this will be hopefully a real fun show. If you guys can comment that the audio is working okay, that would be super helpful. Let's get Instagram Live going too. Let's see here. All right, video, and we're gonna go live. Gotta let that thing load up there. Instagram's been a little bit slow here on the home Wi-Fi. So today we're gonna do a bike check on my Ibis Ripmo right here behind me. And we can also go over some of the behind the scenes and a quick little Q&A on the Riding LA video. So let's just get Instagram set. There we go, start live video. All right, we're getting Instagram going. Cool, we got someone in here, right on. As you guys start coming into the YouTube live chat, hit that like button. It'll bring us higher up in the logarithm. And what's up, Instagram? Hey, Instagram guys, if you can hit the like button, it'll bring us higher in the logarithm and we'll get a little bit more pull and a few more viewers. That'd be super helpful. Cool. Mountain biking adventures, you are the first to comment. Thank you. Click that like button and help get this higher in that logarithm. Cool. Trail Weeks, what's up? We got a few folks here. Instagram folks, hey guys, that like button's really helpful right when we're getting started, so thanks. Cool. All right, so I've got like 2 screens I'm trying to watch, so I'll try and stay focused on everyone. I've got comments coming in here. What's up, imaginary boy? So my Ripmo is right behind me, and this is not the one I rode in the video that went live this morning. That bike was a really early, actually kind of a pre-production bike that the R&D team at the factory made, and Ibis loaned me so we could get that video done in time for the launch. This bike that I have here is my own bike, and it's a production bike. Production bikes are always better than prototypes. When I was a little kid, I remember thinking, prototype, that must be amazing. In reality, prototypes are cool, but the production bikes are almost always much better. So I really like this thing. It's a size medium Ripmo, and I've got it built up with most of the parts that I want to keep on it. I have 2 new things that are in boxes right over here that we'll pull out, and I'll show you guys that are going on here soon. So let's run through it. Size medium Ibis Ripmo. I'm running a Fox 36 fork and a Fox Flow X2 rear shock. The 36 fork that I have is not the final fork. One of the things I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes, it'll replace this. So, and it's also a Fox product too. This uses the Fit 4 damper, which I've been riding for a little while now, and I really like it. It feels solid. I'm running 3 volume reducers in the 36 fork, which feels pretty good. If I'm doing a lot of drops to flat, a lot of big jumps, I could totally see going to 4 volume spacers. And in the rear shock, I actually went down to only 1 volume spacer. And that's because on that video shoot, I tweaked my back pretty badly, and I also pulled some abdominal muscles, so I didn't really have my normal core strength. So I couldn't compress the bike with the stock 2 volume reducers in the rear shock. I had to go down to only 1. And my riding style is kind of funny. I tend to pull back on the handlebars a lot for wheelies, right? Yes, for wheelies, sure. But a big part of my riding style is that when I'm cornering, I'm pumping the bike, and I'm almost always pumping the bike through obstacles. And pumping it, that means you're compressing it. So you're pushing down with your legs, but on a full suspension bike, you can get a little extra pump by pulling back on the handlebars and compressing that rear shock. So I'm down to only 1 volume reducer in the rear, and down at Ibis last week, I was kind of thinking about running 2 again because I was feeling a bit better and starting to huck more, and the bike does great with 2. I tried it with 3 and it felt a tad much, but that was also a little while ago. I wasn't totally used to it. So I'll keep you guys updated, work in progress and dialing in the rear shock. And moving on to some more of the bike builds. So I'm running the Ibis 942 wheels. Front wheel has Industry 9 Torch hub. Rear wheel has the Ibis logo hub, which is fine. It uses a 6-bolt rotor, which I get really frustrated with, having these 6 tiny little bolts to mess around with versus 1 easy center lock lock ring. I'm a sucker for the center lock system. I love it. It's easy. I can just bring 1 spare rotor with me rather than the mismatched assortment when I go to video shoots and the like. So on the 942 wheels, I'm running a WTB Vigilante Tough High Grip 2.3 front tire and a WTB Trail Boss 2.4 rear tire. The Vigilante actually measures 2.4. The Trail Boss actually measures about 2.3. So ignore what they print on the side of the tire. The actual measurements are a little bit different, and it works great. I love this setup. I kind of forgot how good the Trail Boss is in the rear. I've been riding matched Vigilante front and rear, so in that video, I had Vigilante Tough High Grips front and rear on that Ripmo, and it worked fine, but I really like the Trail Boss, and it would have been honestly a better setup down in LA. So just par for the course. Sometimes you learn, sometimes you don't have time to swap things, you run with it. Diving down into the bike a little bit more, I'm running PNW components, range handlebar, range stem. I've cut the bars down. They come stock around 800, and I'm not a huge person. I'm about 5'8", so I've cut the bars down to about 765 millimeters in width, and it's just a couple millimeters narrower than my HD4. Because this bike has a steeper head tube angle, I like having a tad narrow handlebar, and honestly, I rode this thing with some 745 bars, and that felt really good too. So for me, the sweet spot's between 745 and 765. That's a big difference, but I've been happy with 765s, and if I do ever go to a longer stem, then I'll probably go to a little bit narrow handlebar. Not tons narrower, but down to like the 745 range. So the stem is a 45 millimeter length. When I first put together my Ripmo, I was riding a 40 millimeter stem with some 775 bars, and that felt good, pretty aggressive, and I just thought the slightly longer, the 45 stem with the slightly narrower bars was a little bit more playful, agile feel. And I really like this bar and stem. It's aluminum, it's simple, I'm not worried about it breaking, the weight is spot on. The price is really good too. You can check them out on the PNW Components website. And then I'm running WTB Technical Trail grips, just real simple standard grips. I really like the soft rubber compound on those things. We've got a bunch of comments over here, so let's check in with you guys. Oh, what's up, Enrico Guala? Enrico in the house. Enrico's a good dude. Cool. What's up, Sean Calloway? How's it going? Hey. Mitch Warren, I hope you make a great dinner. Mitch, where are you located that it's dinner time right now? I'm curious. Let's see. Trail features, what's up, guys? Trail weeks. So I'll try to back the camera back a little bit, but it's a tricky game to do that on live, and I've got a pretty long lens on this camera because I like having that shallow depth of field. So I will try moving this back. Umit, thank you, Umit, I appreciate it. Doug has a good question about the 29 versus 27.5. So once we finish up the bike check here, I want to talk about what I think about this bike, because I wrote in some of the articles that went public today that I thought it was more nimble and agile than my HD4, and folks told me I was wrong. Interesting. So I'll explain about that in just a second. We got a few more comments coming in. That's right, Trail Features. Hit that like button. Let's bring that up in the logarithm. That'd be great. Stefan Nico, what's up? And then on Instagram, we got a tons of folks. Oh yeah, NX build is solid. Gustavo, what's up? We got a bunch of folks. Cool. If you guys can hit that like button, it would get us a little bit higher in the queue, and that would be awesome. Sweet. Right on, guys. So, all right, let's push this thing back just a tad. And it's really tricky because I'm using a Sony here, which does not actually have any kind of a LCD, so I can't see what the camera is looking at. There we go. That looks better. I know it's not perfect. We got to run with it, guys. So moving on with the bike build. Technical trail grips. I'm running Shimano XT M8000 series brakes and rear shifter. I really like the Shimano XT brakes. The regular 2-piston design, not the new 4-piston, but the 2-piston, and it works really well. Oh, we're not quite on camera with Instagram here. There we go. The guys on Instagram get to see all of our dirt bikes and toys and all the collection of bikes up there. So on Instagram, they get a little bit bigger show because of the wide angle. Back to the brakes. XT brakes are killer. I like that simpler, just regular 2-piston design because it's a very consistent lever feel. I love the power of the Z's and the Saints, and on my HD4, it's running Z's. I really like those. I'm super happy with them. On that bike, I love having just a ton of stopping power on tap. On this bike, I'm really happy with the XTs. They are a tad more consistent in their engagement point, which is nice. It's not that big of a difference in real life, but it's nice. And I've run metallic pads front and rear on the XT brakes just to get a little bit more power out of them, and that works well. Like I mentioned with the wheels, we're using 180 rotors front and rear. And then the drivetrain is an all Shimano XT M8000. So I'm running an 1146 cassette in the rear, the new Shimano chain with the Shimano Quick Link in it, which is awesome. And then the cranks are Shimano XT M8000, and I run a 170 millimeter length. I've run 170s since I was a kid, and I love them. I wish I could run 165s. I probably could, but I didn't want to gamble on it. So Shimano is now doing XT M8000 in a 165 length. How cool is that? That's sweet. Unfortunately, it only comes in a non-boost width, and the Ripmo is a boost, and HD4 is boost, and yeah, so with this, I don't want to be committed to a bunch of cranks that I might not be able to use, so I just got 170s on here for now. We'll see about next year. I'm running an E13 chain guide, which is freaking sweet. I smashed that thing a bunch, and it holds up nicely. I want to check on the chainring size. I think it's, yeah, so I put a 32 on this bike, and on my Ripley I was running a 34 at times and a 32 at times, and I like the 32. The range is plenty good for here in the Northwest. It feels solid. The seat post is rad. This is a PNW Components Bachelor 170. A big thing about the Ripmo here is that you can fit a long drop post, so I'm excited. That 170 drop feels great. I just got on the PNW Components dropper. It feels super solid. I'm really happy with it. I took off another post that I was really happy with too and went over to this one. And at first I was like, I hope this is the right decision. And it totally was. The seat post is solid. So I'm really happy with that 170 Bachelor. And you can see I've got quite a bit of post hanging out. So I don't think I could even fit a 150 post on here. And I'm not super tall. I'm probably on the taller end of the medium size spectrum, but I don't think I could run a 150, and I'm 5'8" on this medium sized bike. For the saddle, I got a bunch of questions. This is the Buddy Newman Memorial Saddle. Buddy was a graphics guy at WTB. Unfortunately, he passed away about 2 years ago. And so WTB made a design that Buddy did and gave out these custom saddles to all the racers at TDS in 2016. So I am proudly running my Buddy Newman Galaxy saddle. All right, we got a few minutes left. My nanny's got to head out in just a second. Let's check in on the comments here. What's up, Scott? Yeah, the garage is like a candy store. I love it. Our daughter loves it. It's cool. Let's see. Itch Son, how's it going? All right, got a few more. Paul Joseph, thanks for checking in. How's it going? Cool. 0 bites. We made LA look awesome. It was a cool spot. And John Watson helped us out a ton of taking us to the right spots. John Watson was a key part of that video. He's John Prawley on Instagram. He owns a website called The Radavist, which has some amazing content on it. And I think that website's kind of really leading the field in terms of online media. I love that website. Pink Bike's great. All the other sites are great. MTBR is awesome. Bike Mag's rad. There's tons of great sites. Lone Wolf's growing a ton. But Radavist has its cool niche sorted out. I really like the Radavist. Cool. Hey, Tawny. Cool. And Instagram, we got a few questions. So I got to finish this up pretty soon. Had a question about the HD4. So the HD4 is hanging up right here. It's this red bike right behind me. And I got a couple questions on, or comments, I guess, not even questions. People telling me that I'm wrong for my opinion that the Ripmo is more agile and nimble on its feet than the HD4. Both bikes are pretty darn good, and I like both bikes quite a bit. So my HD4 is set up with a 170 fork. Even without the 170 fork, it still has basically a 65 head tube angle. With the 170 fork, I'm pushing closer to a 64 head tube angle. On the Ripmo here, the bike's basically got a 66 head tube angle. So that's 1 degree from stock HD4, almost 2 degrees from my HD4, steeper. In addition to that, the way the bike's laid out, the chainstays, in relation to the wheel size, that ratio is smaller. So I know the chainstays are 5 millimeters longer on the Ripmo than on the HD4, but the wheel is a lot more than 5. I'm forgetting offhand how many millimeters difference 29 is from 27.5, but the ratio of chainstay length to wheel size is shorter on the Ripmo than on the HD4. The bottom bracket height on the Ripmo is also very low, And the bottom bracket to the center of the wheel distance, the BB drop, is way lower on the Ripmo than on the HD4. You've also got a bit less travel. I know it's only 8 millimeters, but the way it works out, I've got less travel on both ends of the Ripmo than the HD4. And to me, the Ripmo is more nimble and easier to handle in tight trails, and it's also easier to handle when you're seated. Whereas the HD4, I'm out of the saddle and leaning the bike a lot back and forth. We'll be done in just a second. 1 minute, we'll be out. Guys, we got to wrap up this live stream pretty soon here. So in my experiences, the Ripmo is quite a bit more nimble and agile and just more happy in the tighter trails than the HD4. I love the HD4. I love it for bike parks, for sending it, for all that good stuff. But the Ripmo is really cool and really agile, and it's kind of counterintuitive that the bigger wheels would end up feeling that way. But the way my two bikes are set up, I'm really happy with them both, and the Ripmo gets the edge in the tight stuff. So that's my personal opinion and feelings. I haven't ridden a lot of non-Ibises, so I can't give you guys a great comparison to all the other brands out there, but between these two bikes, they're both really good and really fun, and I love them both. But the HD4 is my go-to for the bike park, for the mega gnarly sender stuff, and the Ripmo is a bit more of an all-arounder, but both bikes are great. We're kind of splitting hairs here. Let's check out these comments, and then we'll conclude this live stream here. Cool. Panny Poo, you should check out the video that dropped today, Riding Above LA, City of Angels, City of Trails. Let's see. Imaginary Boy, so it's not actually that. It's a different number because 27.5 isn't actually 27.5. At least I got to double check. I brain farts. I didn't get any sleep this week getting that video ready. Cool. Right on, guys. Well, we got to conclude this live stream. I got to grab the kiddo. It's lunchtime here at the Kendal-Weed household. So YouTube, thanks for checking in. Instagram, guys, thanks for checking in. I'll catch up with you guys later. See ya. See if we can end the live stream the right way.